Whoa, check out all of these Smash characters. You know what make this even cooler? What if we just added more of them? You know, we already got 70 plus on here, you might as well just keep going. Yeah, there's one. How about another? Boom, right there. We can just keep going. It's Smash Ultimate, the ultimate incarnation of Smash. We gotta keep going. How about another one? And one more for good measure. This is Smash Ultimate. 110% effort has to be given on all fronts. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but somewhere down the line, I'm going to talk about who I want to see in Smash Ultimate Fighters Pass 2. Wow, I am so bad with unscripted content. I simply happen to be a man who is also a gamer, who also happens to have opinions on the games he plays, especially Smash Bros. So I'm just going to be talking about who I want to see personally in Smash. And I'm sure plenty of you guys watching just so happen to be gamers with opinions on the games they play. So after I'm done talking for a bit, let me know in the comments who you want to see in Smash, because I just generally happen to love talking about things like this. That's why I'm recording myself talking about this kind of thing. Something I've always loved about Smash is including characters that promote weapon diversity and variety. So for my first pick, we're going to add another sword fighter. Please let me explain. Before I'm promptly game-ended by the comments, let me give a brief synopsis on the Monster Hunter. They unsurprisingly hunt monsters and use a vast variety of weapons to do so. Their arsenal includes, but is not limited to, the Great Sword, Sword and Shield, Dual Blades, Longsword, Hammer, Hunting Horn, Lance, Gun Lance, Switch Axe, Charge Blade, Insect Blade, Bow, Light Bow Gun, and Heavy Bow Gun. Oh, good lord, that's a lot of weapons. I could easily imagine him being a jack-of-all-trades kind of stick, utilizing all 14 weapon types in one ridiculously resourceful kit. And all of that doesn't even include their traps, elemental emission, or the types of armor they'd wear. Maybe their alternate costumes could use different weapons or have certain elemental differences depending on the armor they have equipped. Or maybe they can be really freaking cool like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and give us the fully destructive package of weaponry in one character. And going back to the weapons, the glaive could be used as a quick burst of movement, and the dual blades could be used as their jab, and I should probably stop myself here, because I could honestly just talk about how unique and intricate of a character the Monster Hunter could be in a whole nother video. Also, to serve as the cherry on the top of this metaphorically badass cake, their final smash would be Zora Macro stepping on everyone like ants. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and on to my next pick. You know, speaking of bugs, can we all agree that Hollow Knight somehow made bugs look even more horrifying than they already were? What the hell were you even on, Team Cherry? Good freaking lord. Oh god! Hollow Knight is a Metroidvania packed to the brim with highly memorable locales and even more freaky inhabitants that you'll end up cutting down with your spells, platforming prowess, and a nail that barely compensates for the tragic story behind Hollow Nest and the nightmares I've had to endure ever since completing it. Now you see this guy? He's good at platforming, and Smash Bros is a platform fighter. You see what I'm getting at? I can already see him being able to use Soul as a mechanic where he can use his spells as a projectile, AoE attack, or even healing by holding down the B button. Seeing as the Knight could be passed off as an edgy Pikmin cosplayer, he'd fall under a glass cannon archetype, being able to dish out good damage while remaining mobile and incredibly fragile. I mean, it wouldn't be as easy to beat him as stepping on a bug would be, but I'm sure you'll get the point. I've been saying this for far too long now. If there's one thing that Smash Bros. Is missing, it has to be anthropomorphic starfish who save the day by harnessing the power of love and friendship. It can't just be me, right? I can't be alone in this, right? This derpy looking Kirby of the sea is known as Starfy. And he is a starfish. And he spins. Like, a lot. Oh, and he's actually an excellent cosplayer. Okay, look, admittedly, you can only give so many defining characteristics and attacks to a freaking starfish who looks like he chunked exclusively on Elmer's at the ripe old age of 35. Wait a second. Oh god, Starfy's dying! Like and subscribe to save a Starfy fandom! It's too soon, man! It's too soon! Jokes aside, I feel like everyone has that one character they want in a fighting game despite how impractical they are. Like for one or two characters to make it in only to be used as a playable joke. I mean, if there are people who still want Waluigi, then I'm more than entitled to want a character who helps a bunny prince overcome his amnesia by collecting the 7 Chaos Emeralds alongside a wisecracking clam, all while getting vored through a tyrannical red dragon's nose and then defeating said scaly overlord with the power of love and friendship. I like to think that this is my only character pick that's fueled purely off of my love for the franchise and Starfy himself, which is not at all a bad thing, because like I previously said, everyone has that one special character that would make them giddy if they'd ever lived long enough to see them in a fighting game. And for me, Starfy fits that description perfectly. He's a platforming mascot that I grew up with alongside Kirby and Mario, and seeing as I'm already an absolute sucker for cute things and jumping, I'd love to see Starfy join the roster one day in Ultimate. And while I'm at it, maybe Nintendo could get more of his games localized for the West? Pretty please, please.
While we're on the topic of localization, hey Mother fans, shut the f*** up! Y'all don't have to suffer through one game that wasn't localized properly. How about 4 of them? You try being a Starfy fan, and then you come back to me when you feel what true pain feels like. I'm waiting, alright? Come back to me then! So I may or may not have gotten a haircut in between making this video, and also I may or may not have been taking way too long to make this video as well, but that's besides the point. Because for my next character pick, I want to talk about guns, and that is any guns, but guns showcased by 2 of the most notable DLC characters from Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate. They recognize how guns are pretty cool in a fighting game sense. So why don't we just take a character that does nothing but shoot guns? It's ingenious. You just spawn on in, pew pew, pew 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 pew, pull out the Uzi, pull out the sniper rifle, pew, pew, and then you like do the 360 no scope, pew. It's genius. It's a great idea. Please don't click out the video. I swear this is a really good idea.
Do you like shooting guns? Do you like shooting guns at anthropomorphic bullets who also shoot guns? Then you'll love Enter the Gungeon! You got your laser pistols, teapots, electric guitars, black hole generators, and oh so much more. There are 4 playable Gungeoneers who each have their own starting items, such as a lockpick or a Molotov cocktail, and they acquire new gear the further they explore into the constantly shifting walls of the Gungeon. Outside of each character's base loadout, I wouldn't say there's a staple weapon or item in the game that represents the entirety of the game as a whole. Kinda like Final Smash Balls in Smash. The moment you see that anywhere, you recognize that as an item from Smash, as you immediately try to break it in order to unlock unstickable powers. And then after banging your head into the wall for a few minutes, you realize that video games aren't real.
Wait, they aren't?
And then you play Smash to cope with the pain. Anyways, my point is that I don't care about balance or proper representation in this instance. I just want to see people shoot other people with a ridiculous lineup of weapons. My idea is that each character would act as a skin with an alternate costume for each for a total of 8 costumes. And each alt would use different weapons. Each Gungeoneer would have one gun that would be tied to each direction they can aim, as well as for specials. So 3 to 4 guns per character. The pilot would use his trusty laser pistol as his neutral special or jab. The bubble gun could be used as an up air, acting similar to Game & Watch's Gust of Wind. I could see the bandit using the Vorpal gun as a forwarder that has a chance to land critical hits.
Alright, let's get one thing settled real quick. Sometimes my ideas aren't good ideas. And by sometimes, I mean this. I don't want to see that. Never mind. I don't want to see Isabelle slingshot killing whenever they feel like it. No thank you. I don't want to roll the dice on that. Moving on, let's just forget about that and move on.
Just like with the Monster Hunter, I could go on forever about how cool an Enter the Gungeon character's inclusion in Smash would be. It's especially fun to talk about them in particular since they have a seemingly infinite arsenal of weaponry. And I didn't even talk about active, passive items, coolness, curse. Oh, and there's just so much more to Figure Craft, and I don't want to hold you all over for too long, so let's just move on to whoever I wrote into the script next. Also, give everyone the KCS for forward smash. There's already a baseball bat item in Smash, it'd totally work.
I've always liked the inclusion of new characters from other fighting games, so my hot take would be a certain someone from Under Night In-Birth. And I really do mean it when I say hot. Ooh, that burns. Get it? Because she uses fire. Fire. And also I want her to step on me.
So here's a little backstory. Before I started playing Smash, I was a huge fan of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. It was the first fighting game I've ever played, and I was a surprisingly decent Chie main. I even competed in online tournaments for a bit, and despite my average placements, I was hooked on the anime fighter genre. Also, yes, it is absolutely hilarious how a fighting game from 2013 has better netcode compared to a game in 2020. Fast forward to the PS4 and the initial reveal to Smash Ultimate, and I am 110% ready to throw my Wii U in the garbage. Though, seeing as I had to wait a few months for Ultimate to release in the States, I was looking for another amazing fighting game to pass the time with until the inevitability of Ultimate's launch came out. Then I found a trailer for Under Night In-Birth. Now, as crazy as a list of characters specifically tailored to who I want to see in Smash being biased is, I'm a little biased about Wagner. Her attacks and combos are blazing hot with a sense of dominance that comes from her personality. She forcefully sits her opponents down, making them take whatever she follows up with, and man, I love her playstyle. Now, obviously, it doesn't make much sense for a fighting game crossover to not include the more notable characters from each franchise, which in this instance would be Hyde and Lilith, but I just enjoy Wagner more in terms of gameplay and flair. Sorry for all the tangents throughout this video, but even though they're side characters in Awakening, I can guarantee that people wouldn't dislike Fire Emblem nearly as much if they replaced Chrom and Lucina with Pane and Riken. A majority of the people watching this video probably have no idea who they are or haven't even played Awakening, so I'll just hobble in the little corner next to my controversial opinions and move on to my next pick.
Wait, this is just a Waddle Dee. I don't remember putting him on my list. Oh my goodness, Bandana Waddle Dee! I am so sorry, please forgive me for mistaking your holy presence!
When I turned on my Wii and played Return to Dreamland for the first time, that's when I came to realize that the mainline Kirby characters are not a Dreamland trifecta, but in fact, are a quartet. I love Bandana Dee so freaking much, and it'd mean the entirety of Popstar to me if he ever got into Smash. And he has pretty much an entire moveset already developed thanks to Star Allies, so he clearly has the material to work with alongside the desirability of thousands of other people, including myself. I'm actually in the middle of working on a really big video revolving around the titular D, so rest assured, I'll have a ton more to say about him, and especially his moveset, wink wink, in the future. Hell, at this point, if I were to wake up one morning and see Bonkers join the roster, I'd still pop off over another Kirby character coming to Smash.
This next pick is going to stand out a bit more compared to the others so far because they technically don't exist. Yet.
Now hear me out, I'm well aware of Bayonetta and her impact on the competitive side of Smash 4, but once you look past being at kill percent the moment you get off the Angel platform and the immense amount of cells she produced, Bayonetta is such an intensely badass character and franchise that deserves much more representation. I beat Bayonetta 1 and 2 when the Switch ports released not too long ago, and I got instantly hooked thanks to the insanely fun combat and well-developed characters. And just like anyone addicted to some form of non-regulated drugs, I am in desperate need of that good shit. Bayonetta 3 got announced in 2017, and that's where the trail for Cereza's gunpowder-laced coochie runs cold. Yes, that is a line I actually wrote into a script for a video that I'm currently recording. Moving on. I'm sure Platinum Games is doing their best to make it as spectacular of an experience as possible, and I'm even more sure that when it eventually releases, that it'll have quite an intricate cast of characters. Basically, take a fan-favorite character from the long-awaited sequel and just put him in Smash. I would go this route for a new Bayonetta character rather than just adding Janine, since as much as I like her, she wouldn't be able to be passed off more than just an Echo Fighter in my opinion, due to her similarities to Bayonetta's attacks and abilities. And it seems like Ultimate shared the same way of thinking when designing Rodon's assist trophy, which is honestly underwhelming considering how he has a more diverse moveset compared to Jean. Adding on to this, having your franchise be represented through Echo Fighters when there are only 1 to 2 unique playable fighters part of said franchise in Smash wouldn't really be doing any series justice in terms of showcasing the games they originated from. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Belmonts. But not those guys, don't worry, I'll explain their situation later on. Maybe I'll make another video about my picks for Echo Fighters, but that's another can of worms that I'll probably open at a different time. TLDR, whenever Platinum stops holding Bayonetta 3 hostage, put a new character from that game into Ultimate.
For my final and most wanted character pick, I just had to pull out the full cosplay for this one. It wouldn't do it justice without it, you know? Ooh, floor ice cream.
Kid Icarus Uprising is a game that I will forever praise for its magnificent writing, gameplay, beautiful graphics, and for damnation it inserted onto left-handed people for merely existing. Pit, Pitu, and Palutena are in my opinion very well translated into Smash with their movesets and characteristics. And I know there will always be that one person who thinks it's dumb to make Dark Pit an echo of Pit, but it actually makes perfect sense from a thematic standpoint, since he literally is Pit's clone, birthed from the Mirror of Truth in Chapter 6 of Kid Icarus Uprising. You can really tell how many times I've had to say that just by the delivery of that exposition. Why am I bringing all this up to you, we may be wondering? Well, Kid Icarus as a franchise is represented by 3 characters in Ultimate, and one of them is merely a copy with a few alternate specials, which doesn't really sit well with me. Castlevania, sure, they can get away with that since most Belmonts are equipped with their assortment of holy projectiles, as well as the classic chain and whip. But with the insanely diverse and colorful cast of potential contenders in Uprising, it'd be doing the franchise injustice to not have a character showcase what the game has in store for unfamiliar players. And I believe that Viridi, the goddess of nature, would be the perfect Uprising spokesperson. She's easily one of the most memorable and impactful characters in Uprising, and she pulls out all the stops when it comes to her fighting abilities. Seeing as she's in tune with nature, she's capable of materializing weapons and life forms out of plants. Take her to Hannibal or Distant Planet, and you're as good as plunged from existence with a reset bomb. Imagine her summoning Zelda's Phantom, but it's literally made out of weed. Hell, she's got a whole army of plant life ready to simp for her until the very entirety of the human race has been wiped out from the universe. Also, yeah, she's not really a fan of humans, so yeah, wait, Viridi, what are you doing? Hey, wait, Pit, no, watch out! Seeing as this is my final pick, I'll end this on a more serious note. Viridi is a character I would main the very day she'd be announced for Ultimate. She strengthened one of my most memorable and enjoyable gaming experiences, and because of that, I would love to see her join Smash Ultimate's roster one day. Also, maybe if she were to ever watch this part of the video, she'd forget about the whole ending the whole human race ideology she's been campaigning against for however long she's been alive for.
As you can all tell, I have a lot of love for Smash, and I have a lot of different characters I would love to see be included into the roster one day in Ultimate, but for the sake of all of your time, as well as my lack of energy for working on this video for so long, I'm going to cut it off right here, since as much as I want to keep talking about more and more characters, I don't want to make you all sit here for more than like 20 to 30 minutes. That's a little much. If you watched all the way through to this, then thank you, I mean thank you so much, because this is easily the biggest video I've ever made in my entire time on YouTube, and I really hope y'all enjoy it. Smash Bros is awesome. Being a gamer with opinions is awesome, and I hope y'all agree with me on that. As per usual, a tremendous thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon currently. This is easily the biggest video I've ever made before. Scripted content takes a lot of work compared to my regular gaming videos, and I'm really content and happy with making stuff like this. So if anyone wants to see more stuff relating to what I'm doing right now on camera, then please consider pledging me down there. Get early access to all my videos, and slurring my words due to pure exhaustion and a lack of sleep. Here comes Kirby eating all the fellas, all the good folks at home who support me whenever I make videos like this. Thanks again, you guys. I really do appreciate it. Entirely. Amazingly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. I'm on the brink of collapse if it weren't obvious enough already. I won't hold you all over for any longer. Just thank you so freaking much for watching this video. Whenever the new ARMS character releases for Smash, I'll be covering that. That'll be cool. That's about it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to bed now. Alright, good night. Oh, I don't think that was a good idea. I have fallen, and I choose not to get up. I'll freaking just leave. Goodbye.